Welcome to part 1 of a two-part tutorial on the double elimination system. This presentation explains the system in the context of one-on-one Poomsae tournaments. Part 1 is aimed at officials, players and spectators. Some of the topics it will cover are draw structure, court setup and match procedure. Part 2 is aimed at tournament directors. It will look at the advantages and disadvantages of the double elimination system as compared with other competition formats. The main premise of a double elimination tournament is that a player must lose twice before they are eliminated. Any player who has not yet been eliminated is still capable of winning the gold medal. This means that everyone gets a second chance, whether they lose in the first round or they lose in the final. The exact draw to be used is determined by the number of players in a division. For this tutorial we will focus on the 8-player draw as an example. The diagram will be simpler for smaller divisions and more complicated for larger ones. However, all draws, regardless of size, can be broken up into 3 parts: the main draw, the repechage, and the finals. All players will begin in the main draw. Their positions may be determined by the tournament officials before the tournament commences or drawn on the day of competition. The main draw follows the single elimination format. This is the same format currently used in state and national sparring tournaments. Winning players progress to the next round, whilst the losing players are removed from the draw. Eventually, there is one undefeated player who is designated the main draw winner. In a single elimination tournament, a single loss would mean the end for a player. However, in double elimination, all players who have lost a single match will be placed into the repechage. Unlike the main draw, players appear at different points throughout the repechage, depending on how they fared in the main draw. A player who loses their first main draw match appears at the start of the repechage. However, a player who loses the last match in the main draw is rewarded for their prior wins and enters the repechage at the final stage. The repechage also follows the single elimination format. Winning players progress to the next round, whilst losing players are removed from the draw. When a player loses a repechage match, they will have suffered their second loss and will therefore be eliminated from the division. Eventually, there will be one repechage player remaining, who is then designated the repechage winner. The finals are contested by the main draw winner and the repechage winner. The repechage winner must win both finals in order to win the gold medal. This is because the main draw winner also gets a second chance after their first loss. On the other hand, the main draw winner need only win a single match in order to win the gold. This is because a single win will mean a second loss for the repechage winner, who would therefore be eliminated. The contest area shall be approximately 8 meters by 8 meters, with each side clearly designated as red or blue. From the contestant's point of view, red should be on the left and blue should be on the right. The recording table and head of court must be positioned at the front of the court in view of both players contesting each match. Both the recorders and the head of court should have a copy of the draw. Players who are still in the main draw will sit on the right of court. Players in the repechage sit to the left. Players who have been eliminated will sit at the back of the court. All players therefore begin to the right of court. After their first loss, they will then sit on the left, and after a second loss, they will sit at the back of the court. Either 3 or 5 judges will be used, and will be positioned around the court at the discretion of the tournament director. With 5 judges, there will typically be 2 at the back of the court or at the back corners. The recorder and head of court will confer to identify the 2 players to contest each match. Matches are played in numerical order going down the page. When a column is completed, the match numbers continue in the next column. For each match, the blue player is listed above and the red player listed below. The pattern to be performed is also listed under the match number. The head of court then instructs the players to enter the contest area, indicating which player will be on which color. They will issue the commands chariot and kyongre. At this point, it is important to announce the pattern before calling chumbi, as the contestants may not be aware which pattern is required, and therefore which chumbi is required. Sijak commands the contestants to start, and when both players have finished, the call of baro is given. After a momentary pause, the head of court will call judges, at which point the judges must raise a blue or red flag immediately. The head of court then indicates the winner based on the number of flags awarded. They then call chariot and kyungrae to complete the match. When the players walk off, the winner will walk back to the same side from which they came. The losing player will move to the left if it was a main draw match, or to the back of the court if it was a repechage. At this point, the recorder indicates the winner of the match on the draw diagram. This can be done with a W next to the name of the winner, or a circle on the diagram. Their name is then written on the line to the right of the corresponding match number. If the match is in the main draw, the recorder will also write the loser's name in the corresponding position of the repechage. The court then proceeds to the next match, and the process is repeated. Eventually, all matches from the main draw and repechage will be completed. At this point, a mandatory 30-second break must be taken to provide the players an opportunity to rest before the finals commence. After the break, the first final match is conducted following the same process as the previous matches. If the repechage winner wins the first final, a second final is played to determine the gold and silver medalists. Third place is awarded to the last player eliminated in the repechage. In the 8-player draw, this is the loser of match 13. Fourth place is awarded to the second last player eliminated in the repechage. In this example, it is the loser of match 11. When all matches are completed, the medalists are announced and either presented on court or at a designated medal area at the tournament director's discretion. It may be possible in some situations to use electronic draws on laptops. In such cases, the recorder need only place a 1 in the box next to the winning player. The program will then automatically place the winner into the next round and the loser of a main draw match into the repechage. The spreadsheet will also determine the place getters and indicate if the final match is not required. This concludes part 1 of this double elimination tutorial. Officials should now have the requisite knowledge for running a double elimination division on competition day. Tournament directors may also provide practical training, during which officials will be asked to run a mock division.